talk amongst yourselves, I would be like.
Got any boots?
Yeah, about Christmas.
Very nice. How was Dubai?
I haven't gone yet. I'm going 27th this month.
Is that after Grandad's birthday?
That, I was going to say, yeah, I was going to go on that Saturday, and then I remember it's Grandad's in the
Okay, Joe, they're all done.
and that helping with all the food.
Yeah.
We haven't really planned it.
Right,
yet.
let's
Don't know
press
what
on.
we're doing.
Public participation.
Yeah, okay, if I could. I know there was a meeting with the building people.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, is there a little bit more of an update than I know Joe put something on Facebook first?
There is.
What was it?
We've got a complete summary of it.
Summary of a summary.
No, that's what you got on Facebook and what you got on the website. I mean, I've got
Can I just do that in the next one? Is that all right? Just on the updates?
Oh, right, I didn't know.
Yeah, sorry.
Was there anything specific you wanted to find out?
Well, yeah, I wanted to know how they were moving forward and stop all this stuff being shot against our houses.
Right.
Okay, the rumour bounding around that they're going to come and pressure wash people's houses.
Well, I moved that.
That's the last thing I want to know.
I can assure you they're not going to pressure wash your house. they're not that generous.
Really, I'm better. I pressure wash me
No.
Clean mud. They have said that, Jim.
Have they?
Yeah.
Have they?
Yeah.
When did they say that then? I don't know anything about that. No, Joe don't know anything about it. They would have. That's a rumour.
That's the site manager.
That's a rumour.
They was going to jet spray their houses when they finish now. The fronts of the houses up through the main street.
Used to be.
I've not heard
Used
that.
to Joe, and
Not
they,
heard that as well.
they had open line to Joe. Tell her anything they're going to do. You better find out about that, Joe.
Yeah, I have spoken to them several times since the
Yeah,
meeting.
no.
It's not come up. So.
And we've got a good working relation with it now.
Yeah.
So they're taking issues forward. What happened about the planning?
Well, I communicated with you, Chair, and there was conditions put on the applications that lorries should be cleaned before they leave.
And did the planning enforcement officer visit the site?
The planning enforcement has not visited the site as far as I've known. We have very little enforcement going on, unfortunately. So I am not aware yet of an enforcement officer from TDC that has actually attended the site, Chair.
Right.
But I will ask again.
Right. Okay.
I'm aware that they cleaned it a couple of times. I've been down through the village, and I'm aware that the lorries have been down through. The cleaning lorries have been down through the village.
Yeah.
He was here this afternoon.
With the cleaning thing that goes up
So
and down.
they're causing you more problems
Well,
than.
they are, because it's dodgy, and then it goes to our cars and our houses.
A lot of the spraying, the splashing is from the potholes, isn't it? When people go into the potholes.
Take your comments on board, and I'll go back to enforcement again and ask them to
Pay the site a visit, because they did promise they were going to put a water bowser in there to clean all the lorries.
The water bowser is in. It's been in for since before the meeting, actually. So prior to when we met them, it had already been put in earlier that week.
Mud was mainly caused by, or the mud on the road was mainly caused by the fact that they're building a pond, and that had a limited timescale. I would have thought they'd finished that by now.
They have finished that, they finished the bulk of that. There is still a little bit of mud to be taken away. The tarmac road is supposed to be laid tomorrow.
Right.
Now, obviously, that is probably going to be weather dependent.
Yeah.
And it's pretty awful tomorrow, I think, in the forecast. So it may well slip a day or two, but it's going to be done this week, or as soon as they're able to put the tarmac down.
Yeah, I had a quick peek this afternoon to see what they were doing, and the road in the entrance is a foot lower than the tarmac, so they would have to do something before they can get in there with a lorry again. And they was rolling all stone down through where the road's going to go. So.
And this is only the entrance at Ori Close is the problem, not one here.
No. But that seems to have died a death now. She doesn't go down there now.
So it's purely, we're looking at more.
But our main problem, one of our main problems was that when they closed the road that goes from the village down to Orleo a couple of weeks ago, the lorries, well, still are, coming into the village in all directions. And they're coming down to the glen, you know. And
The bridge will be gone again then.
well, the bridge is gone again.
Is it
Well,
gone?
Not on our side, I
No,
have to say.
to be
Yeah.
fair,
Parapet's
the
gone.
bridge hasn't been repaired since he was down last. What they've done is further up the entrance into Glen Lodge.
Mm.
It's already looked as a runoff.
I'm aware that they use the orchard entrance as a turning place when sat-navs take the other lorries in the wrong direction.
See, what we need is a notice at Catsborough Cross. We asked them to.
You got one there?
Well,
No,
is
it's
it-
a bit big.
we asked them to take the notice down because we thought that was just leading them down there. Well, I think it's sat navs that are directing them
Yeah.
down through there. And it's the 8-wheelers that cause the problem. I know we had an Arctic stuck there the other day,
Yeah.
but the Arctic didn't hit the bridge and it didn't hit any walls down there.
There's up the lorry running their drive and pushed the road wall, the retaining wall to their drive is damaged. Halfway up there. Yeah.
Okay, so that's on the northern side of Glen Hill then?
Yeah, well, that's in Monthly.
It's in Monthly. It's not even in our county council division, eh? Yeah. But it's in your patch, mate.
I'll wait for Monday next Wednesday then.
But they don't even know anything about it.
No, they probably don't. Well, you're good at that road.
I'm looking at the briefing that we got afterwards and to see if there's anything else. I mean, we've got another meeting with them. They promised to fine various people for doing nasty things about curbs and things. But they are the problem is they're an American company backed with American money, with American business aims, and you know what that means. What we couldn't do anything about. Eh? No, it'll be another closed meeting.
While you're just doing that, then, if the briefing note that Jim's referring to, Alison Holmes have come back with all the comments relating to that. So it's just a summary of all the discussion items. So what I'm doing is, or what I did this afternoon, is I've put in all of the Alison Holmes comments to say the actions they've already taken or what is currently in progress. And what I'm proposing to do is there will be just a notice on the front of the website, and it will be held in the meeting minutes and agenda items. I'll put it in there, but signposted on the front. And I will also do a Facebook update, just a brief one, signposting people to the same place. Because, you know, rather than having lots of rumours and whispers going around, because clearly there are some strange comments going out, but they have taken quite a few actions already. And one thing that I was going to highlight is that Alison Holmes has actually said to all of their contractors now that they should not follow any of the sales signs. I think everyone's looking at the Foxglove View sales signs. That's intended for the public when they're buying the houses. So it's just directing people, you know, who's looking for houses. It's not for the construction traffic. So they've gone.
It's never going to be cool.
Yeah, so they've gone out to all the contractors to say, please use appropriate routes. But as Jim's already said, sat-navs take you all around the houses anyway. But they've also said to all contractors that a lot of the problems that were being caused by them parking on verges and things like that has got to stop. And they have given everybody notice, and the contractors have now had about a week to communicate that internally, and there will be a fining system. So again, there'll be a notice going out to say to people, if you spot anything that you want to be escalated, I'll need as much information as you can let me have. So certainly dates, times, pictures ideally. And Alison Holmes have a weekly meeting with all of their contractors, and any photos and problems like that will be discussed, and they are fining £100 every time.
Will you put that note up somewhere, are
Yeah, it'll be on the website and it'll be on Facebook, and there'll be a reference to it in the next village scene as well.
And they were going to try to stagger lorries leaving, weren't they? Because that was part of the problem as well.
But hopefully there is an end game as far as the mud is concerned, because once they've built the internal road, that will enable them to go onto the site and not be caked in mud. But one of the problems that we pulled them up on was the fact that they weren't cleaning the tyres after they actually offloaded the load. I mean, you could do them under the 1980s Road Traffic Act, really, but nobody has done. I don't think anybody's reported it to the police. Has anybody reported it? They could do.
Well, they've installed that.
Mud on the road like the farmers do.
Yeah.
He gets enough grief.
Yeah.
Yeah. But somebody did tell me agricultural mud was different to building mud the other day. Yeah, I thought you'd say that.
Agricultural mud don't stick the same.
Sorry, go on. Sorry.
All the site workers are now using Southwood Meadows to go in and out with their vans.
They're using.
Southwood Meadows to go
Yeah.
in and out with their
Yeah.
vans.
They've stoned a bit up there
I've been recording the...
for staff car park.
And also, are they going to build more houses on that site?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
what they probably were, they've taken all the topsoil off and they've made an entrance into it already.
There are two sites.
Yeah.
No, you're talking about the spare bit at the top.
Oh no, the spare bit at the top of the building.
And the top
Little tiny
is
field.
there now.
Yeah, little tiny field.
Where the vans are parking,
Yeah.
are they going to build on that site? So they've just taken all the topsoil off.
The top of the top is by the lane that goes down back to the plain. No, they're not going to build on that.
I think they are.
Well, they even got planned.
They haven't got planning permission.
Oh, maybe not. They've made an entrance into it, and this last fortnight they've taken all the topsoil off of the whole field.
But
They
made
had-
an entrance in from where?
Pardon?
Made an entrance from where?
There's entrances already on the plan.
Not Northwood Lane. Off the side.
If you go in Southwood Meadows, where they're building that.
Yeah, they put, yeah.
They built a car park.
Yeah. Well, that belongs to them, but they're not building on it. Not in the plans.
There's where they built.
I mean,
That's where they
there's a lot of history to this.
Into this
I mean, we
bit
could
here.
go through it. Yeah.
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 And they got a square yard.
There's a big piece of land up here.
Well, they're telling us
There you are,
Selling it.
Keith. There's the map.
Yeah. The top hill, Red Bundra.
Well, they haven't got planning permission.
They haven't got planning for that. No.
Can I just mention about the contractors' vans? So they have actually created a parking area on site now because of the complaints about the parking on the roads. So that may well be the entrance to their new site parking.
I mean, for those that, this has got a long history, for those that are unaware, there are two sites. One is in the Torridge District Plan and in the Parish Settlement Plan, which is the one that comes off Orley Close. And the other one is Southwood Meadow. And the Southwood Meadow came along after everything had been done. And the only reason they could build on Southwood Meadow is the government has deemed there's not enough land, they call it 5-year land housing supply, and therefore Torridge didn't oppose it. Well, they couldn't afford to oppose it, basically. Because if they'd been taken to a planning appeal, the developers would have won. And that's the problem at the moment. But there is some good news on the horizon on that. It looks like April. There's another chance for Torridge to actually cross the Rubicon and qualify for the 5-year.
We'll wait for the end of the month for a report by our officers.
But if that happens, then you've got control again of your planning.
We hope so.
Ah.
There is a consultation white paper out at the present moment.
Yeah.
So who knows what central government will decide next.
Yeah. We will wait and see. But crazy scheme.
Who knows?
But that's the history of it. Right, because we opposed Southwood Meadow, tooth and nail. We just thought it was one development too much for the village. There we go. Okay. Are we all done with that, Southwood? You're gone.
The defibrillator across the road here,
Mm.
the number on it is almost impossible to read. It's got to be redone. I think it's 59, it could be 69. But it is a job to read. That's the number on the
How important
I
is that
didn't-
number then, David?
Oh, I didn't.
Well, it says on it, we put this number when you ring through.
Oh, right.
All
I'll
right.
have a look.
We'll have a look.
I will check. It
We'll
may
check that for you.
may have been when I put the new pad in. I may have covered it up. So
Yeah,
I'll have a look.
Okay.
we'll sort that out for you. All right.
Also, the top of the page here, we used to have a flashing sign.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that tonight. Eh?
Is it now an obsolete?
No. There's a story behind that.
So it faced the wrong way when it's...
No, it's not faced the wrong way. It's faced both ways because you can actually get the information off it. Cars speed up the village and they speed down the village, and you can actually find out how many cars, when and where they've been speeding. Right? So we can actually find that out. Sorry? Yeah, well, it's been turned round. Yeah, it's been turned around several times. Just trying to think when we turned it round. Must have been September. And then one of the problems is you have to put a battery in every 5 weeks, 4 weeks. And I live at the top of the village, so I know all about wind. And sometimes it's just a basic chain and there's no basic chain. And once it blew open and we had to have it repaired, and we're not quite right. I think it's the battery. We need a new battery, new batteries, because we've had it for about 5 years. And everybody around me is complaining because it was very effective. Everybody felt it was very effective. Yeah, so we're working on it. Any more? Okay, fine. Thank you very much for your contributions. It's most welcome. Clerk's report.
Just a few things just to draw your attention to. There's a new complaint as well that's not on the correspondence list, and it relates to cars blocking the access to Northwood Lane. Is it Northwood Lane? Northwood Lane, by the green.
Yeah.
And I think because the cars are sort of parking in between where it says no parking, tractors and larger vehicles are finding it difficult to swing round. So the request is, can it be marked no parking all the way along there?
What, in front of the entrance to Northwood Lane?
We talked about putting another line there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Behind that one, so that it shuts it off.
I think people are.
You know, you've got two up the slope then, and then you've got one another way. Of course, it's just got a line that comes up here, and there's no marking to say where it ends, basically.
You talk as you go up from
Yeah, from the bottom.
The problem is if you've got a tractor and a trailer swinging it around around the
one the other way.
oh, on that side.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
swing it around
And these.
and then into the lane.
I mean, sometimes you see two parked in that long line, and then that's what causes the problem.
Depends on the size of the vehicle, too.
Yeah. So, as you said, we've had this complaint before, and I thought it'd gone away, but it's now resurfaced.
Do you want me to put it onto a future meeting? And
No. I mean, if we're in agreement, we can put no parking. We can get somebody to put no
Get
parking.
Michael Vanstone when he's
Yeah,
passing,
get
he
Vanstone.
put the rest of it down.
The guy that actually resurfaced the village green, all around the village green, which are actually owned by the county council, but we pay for it. Yeah, remind people like that. Keep reminding the county council of that. They put all the markings and the wording down. I'm sure if we can have a word with them, they'll come back and put no parking across the. We don't want it in big letters, but as long as it's across the front of the green.
Or would you, I don't like yellow lines.
No, we don't yellow lines
Yellow
anyway.
white lines, do it?
See the yellow line of the village, all up and down the village, not into that. Thank you very much. Okay.
Unless you put a pretty big rock.
No. I think we can get hold of Vanstone and see if they can get something down here. They're very good. They're very good.
Are you going to rock,
job.
Yeah, I can get a rock.
Okay.
Okay. The coronation meeting, the date has changed, so just for the benefit of people here. The village team said one date, it's actually been pushed back a week, so it's going to be held on the 24th of March.
What's that, sorry?
Coronation meeting. So this is just a planning meeting and getting some ideas in. There's a request to use the amenity field again for the Buckland 10K event. It's going to be held on the 29th of
Before
May.
you do that, Joe,
Sorry.
I'm trying to clarify this. Coronation meeting date, yeah, fine, might do the funding for most agenda items.
That's-
put on the agenda.
That's on the agenda, yeah.
Okay,
So,
all right, fine.
yeah.
carry on.
The Buckland 10K event is on the 29th of May, and the organisers have requested use of the amenity field for parking and for the finish line. So they did the same thing last year. So just asking permission from the Parish Council to use it. But just put a note on that we'll need to make sure that path is finished because it might be a tripping hazard.
It'll be finished before.
Yeah.
Right, fab. Okay. I did notice the benches, some of them look like they need a little bit of TLC, so when the weather warms up, I think
The benches
That's-
on the green also need some TLC as well. They need a coat of wood preserve on it.
yeah, so I think we'll just have to go around and look at everything, but I noticed again coming through. The Alison Holmes meeting,
I've raised the paragraph before. Steve Sherry.
oh, well, I've had a long chat with him after the February meeting, and to be honest, it's all the same information that I think Jim had confirmed there anyway, so
I
just,
think I was racking our brains when we actually offered him the contract to do it, and he's doing all the surveys, and it's some time to go, and I think it's about time. I'd like him to come to the next meeting to give us an update of what those are. You know it, and I know it, but I think the parish councillors have got any information about it, and I certainly don't think the general public have, because that is part of the settlement plan in building 6 industrial units at the bottom of Blackwellsville. And it's in the Torres District plan and everything else. But I'd like him to come to the next parish council meeting just to give us a briefing session as to what he's been up to, what he sees happening in the future, etc., etc. Agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Right.
the Alison Holmes proposed date of the next meeting,
They've changed it, have they?
20th. They can't make the Wednesday the 19th, which would have been 8 weeks to the day, but they can do Thursday the 20th, or possibly Friday the 21st. After that, it would be into May because of holidays.
No, we'll do the 20th, because they should have had long enough time to actually sort that out, shouldn't they? Should we do it in the day? They won't do it during the day.
It'd be the same time if everyone's okay with that,
Yeah,
2 o'clock.
okay.
And assuming the room's available.
Oh, I'm not aware of anything, but if you check with Lorna. But that's at 20th, is it?
Yeah.
Thursday the 20th of April, yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Joe.
And I think that's it. The rest of the stuff is pretty much BAU or things that I've already sent through to everyone by email anyway.
It says open meeting for potential councillors. My advice to those potential parish councillors is when you come on the parish council, do everything you want to do till the law tells you you shouldn't do it.
This is a guidance meeting though. Yeah.
That's in Town Hall, isn't it?
Is it in the town hall, is it?
Yeah. I'm sure I read it was in the Town Hall.
Right, go on, there's a bit more to go yet. Hicks approach for Bradford towards coronation mugs. He's agreed to do that.
Yeah, he's agreed the 250.
So he'd agreed to help and he's just confirmed the amount now.
Right. Path fitness equipment, Travis just mentioned that, so that's in hand. I talked to him earlier. They're going to have it done by the 1st of April. Water leak. Trevor, I and James Slocum went over and had a look at the hole. My God, he went down in his tractor. He had to get him pulled out. I didn't realise it was such a big dip, but it's a pretty big hole. And again, Trevor's given me commitment that he'll be repaired by the 1st of April. Because the 1st of April, the new allotment fees come in for. We can't have that. Right.
Sorry, so Hannah, you're saying that the water will be back on the 1st of April?
Well, we hope to get it back on by the 1st of April. That's the plan.
If we find the leak.
If they can find the leak. Right. Speed side battery chase. Can they deliver? I mean, you've been moaning out for ages to get this battery.
The engineer he seems to think he can do something remotely, and I keep saying to him, it's dead. There is nothing there. It's completely kaput. So I've gone back to him again and said, look, irrespective of whether you can do something remotely, we need a battery.
Well,
so
can I think we'll buy one.
Yeah.
Make sure
So
that's the problem.
can you confirm when the battery will be dispatched? And I'm just waiting to hear back from him again now. I chased it again yesterday. Once we've got that in, then we can talk about what you can do remotely. But you can't do anything while there's no power to it.
There's some, but it's not very long. I mean, I can charge up the battery I've got in my garage and see what use there's left in it.
Well, he was talking the problems that we were having before. It was flashing when pedestrians were walking past, telling them to slow down. He was just saying that was sensitivity. You know, it was oversensitive, and that's what he can do remotely.
Okay.
But the battery is the critical thing. If I'm not getting any joy with him, I'll just go straight in and go back to the original sales team and just say we want a battery, and then we'll resolve everything else.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that first anyway?
Well, what I knew is I think the battery. I always thought battery was the problem.
Well, as I say, he seems to think there's something with that you can do relating to the connectivity to the solar
But
panel.
you can't do anything until there is a battery there because you've got a power.
No.
Yeah, that makes sense. Go on, David.
The defibrillator, put the new pads in. No, the one down the village hall will need doing in the next couple,
Yeah.
depends out in June. But I've already got one to do that. I need a new battery for that one.
Battery?
Yeah, we need a battery for that one.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, at the bottom you've already mentioned that the benches on the amenity field need a bit of attention. And so do the ones on the village green.
Who are we going to do that?
Well, Richard and I did the ones on the village green last time. Yeah. I'm getting an old crop these days. Right. Go on, Barbara, yeah?
Yeah, Rural Prosperity Fund due to be finalised April 23. Are we pursuing that?
Well, it's not open yet. It's still in the ether somewhere being worked out how it's, you know, what the criteria is going to be. But it's part of the Levelling Up Fund. And so sometime in April or after April, there will be, it will open for, and people will be invited to apply, and you can apply for up to £25,000 for development type projects that will benefit a rural community. So I've spoken to Stephen Sherry about that to say we need to make sure that whatever paperwork we're waiting for is available so that we are ready to go for that fund.
Steve was engaged to do all the surveys. At the time we had 3 other quotes, and we need to sort out in terms of finish, because what we need to do is, when we've done all the surveys, is go on and have a planning application, outline planning application for the development, and then sell it, which is what the parish council decided they wanted to do. And that will generate considerable funds as well. So that's something to think about. I'll say 80,000 quid, but don't quote me on it. Right. we finished with all your correspondence? Thanks, Joe. Right. We're at a stationary position regarding emergency parish plan, income generation assessment on the Methodist chapel. So we don't.
I had the assessment for here. Have you?
No, nobody's rung me.
No, I've chased them and I have not heard anything, so I'll chase
If
again
they
and
do
find
that,
out.
we'll fix up a time when they can come and do it.
Who's doing, sorry to the chair, who's doing it?
Mr. Gilbert.
Dickie Gilbert's got it,
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Dickie
can vote.
Gilbert.
It was either asked to do the Methodist one, I didn't think he knew anything about the Methodist one.
Well, I don't know. As far as I know,
I don't think he knows anything about the Methodist.
No, he does, yeah.
He does?
He does, yeah. And he was got Dave's contact details to
He has?
get access, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll check
Yeah.
it out and see.
Will you?
Yeah.
Good
Just
idea.
give us a ring, George.
Yeah, I got a problem with chicken shit. He got this.
Right.
Can't find
They're
it.
not laying square eggs, George.
They're nearly.
Right, the next one is, thanks sir. The next one is decision regarding a request to install fencing around allotment 11A. Remind me what sort of fencing they wanted to put round, Joe?
They want to put up 90 centimetre high fencing. It's wooden fence posts, wire fencing. It will go around 3 sides of the allotment because the 4th side there's a fruit cage that goes the whole width of the allotment anyway. So it will enclose it with that. A small wooden gate at the front because the allotment holder has a toddler, and she'd like to make it secure for him and stop him wandering.
That's no different than what they've been doing for years, is it? Keep the rabbits and the...
No, it's not. It's just that it's got to come to the council
Well,
for
yes,
permission.
they keep
Yeah.
within their curtilage.
Yeah.
So the allotment becomes a leisure garden. It's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Sounds
So
all right.
no dissent here. Okay.
Provided they pick it up, sorry, provided they pick it up when they leave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we put that in?
Well-
They're supposed to anyway.
Well, yeah.
When the child gets older.
Yeah. Sorry.
Keep 15-year-olds in.
Oh, you know who's going to pick it up and roll it up.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Decision regarding notice on new Stockgate. As you know, Richard's put a new gate on the outside fence leading into Church Park, and the notice was on the gate that was on the fence to the playing field, and it's falling apart. Phil Slocum painted the original sign, and he said he'll do it for £45 to replace it for a new one. Okay,
Sounds a good idea.
all right.
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
I'm still not clear where this gets to.
I ain't quite sure now.
Oh,
Well, it's all it's been smooth, Trev. So well, when you left the playing field,
Yeah.
there was a wooden gate. It's going to
In the
Church
playing
Park.
in the playing field.
Right.
Oh, going into the playing field from...
Yeah, there's a wooden gate, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Which everybody
Yeah,
used,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Then we built the footpath that went on the other side of the hedge.
Yeah.
And the gate now is on the Church Park side of the fence,
where the fence is.
where the fence is. So encouraging people to use the footpath.
Can we buy it?
Yes.
And is that my end?
No, that's...
No.
No, it's right opposite where the old
Oh, so where
Well,
the footpath is?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So then the next, have you finished your bit yet?
No, I will do.
All right, okay. And then we need to get that cut, so people are encouraged to use
Yeah,
the
okay.
footpath. All right?
Sorry,
If you would please, George,
Yeah.
thank you.
apologies.
All right. I'll let you off.
when George's piece is done, when we want them to use that path, will that stop gate be removed then?
No,
Because we've got...
because Richard was explaining that one of the problems we've got with Devon County Council, as you know, they have a settlement figure which tells that which is people think that when the local tax that we pay, Devon County Council pays for everything, doesn't, nowhere near touches it. So it's, the money comes from a government grant, and that's been reduced and reduced and reduced. And as a result of that, they've cut back and cut back. And the easiest things to cut back on are things like footpath management, and that's what they've done. Because we need a legal decision to actually change the actual footpath route. So they've come up with a compromise where they will do an intermediary position where they will put some signs up indicating where the new footpath goes, but still allowing people to use the old footpath if they so wish to walk across the field. Not around the field, but to walk across the field.
I was walking around the field today.
Were they?
When I was down the way close.
Oh, what's the
Your
field?
field? No,
round Church Park.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Can I just also...
Not somebody's garden.
Yeah. Piece you, which I have not done, which I apologise.
Yes.
When I rip that out and get so it's fine, I've ripped some of it out and I've got it different. Are you expecting me to put a gate in there?
Not really. If there's no need to put a gate in there, why do you want to put a gate in there for?
When there's livestock in Eric's field.
Yeah, but if that fence goes up...
Oh, he's going to be the wrong, he's going to be the other side. No, sorry.
Yeah.
He runs right up.
Yes, he do. Yeah.
There'll be no need for a gate.
There won't be, that's fine.
Unless
I'll leave it open. No.
Unless you put stock in your field.
Then I'll put a hurdle, just easy hurdle, so is that all right? So they can like that back in? Is that all right?
Sounds all right.
Right. Done. Right.
Right, we're all happy with that. Good. Okay. Right.
Members' reports?
Members' reports. Go on, Trevor.
Well, the first one then is down in the amenity field where Pierce has so kindly dug up and put a pipe up through. It needs levelling now. It's it'll sink, and kids are even running across it right their ankle. There is one place that needs to be completed. Level shouldn't want to be turfed, really.
Yes.
You know, they need to take it all off
Right.
and re-turf it from top to bottom.
I will give Paul a ring. All right. I'll give Paul Knox a ring and chase him for that. Is there anything else?
Can't think of anything.
All right. George?
Yeah, just say that we have got, through your good help as well, sir, we got 2 tons of free salt. They delivered out to Fishley's for when the snow comes, and I took a big chance that not going to settle last night, so I didn't sleep a lot last night. But anyway, so we've at the moment I've still got 2 tons. We haven't spent.
Saturday's trap.
I don't believe that for 1 minute.
We haven't spent 350 quid, and we've still got 2 tons of free salt, and it'll be all going to be tomorrow night.
Right.
Yes.
Double fingers crossed.
Right. Okay.
But thanks for your help, Jim. It just appeared out of nowhere.
Right.
Potholes.
Yeah. Well, you can do that on the website.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things we've got to watch, and Penn's got a good eye on this, is the road is deteriorated outside where she lives. There were enough potholes before, but they're even worse now. That whole road needs resurfacing.
Yeah.
You know, between the pub and the village green needs resurfacing. But we've got to get. They said at the meeting that they would put right anything they've gone wrong in the roads. Now we'll challenge them again at the next meeting about that. But even so, you know, it's a county council road, and it's got to be put right because it's just going to deteriorate.
Well, it is deteriorating. The last time somebody dug a pit, I don't know who it was, but there's a line right down the middle now.
Yeah, that's right.
Potholes all the way.
Yeah, I know. Rosie?
No.
Sorry, Barbara, was there anything
No,
else?
that was me.
David?
We're having a fake meeting on Friday here, 7 o'clock, I think. So we'll be needing the amenity field, if that's okay, for when the fake time.
No, you can't have that. No, of course you can. Yeah.
We'll get the stock through. And we'll probably be having a dog show as well. Okay.
Right. As last year. Come on.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot one thing.
Yeah, go on.
Just a bit of guidance. We are entitled to salt, 25k salt bags, which we had some in stock that was then distributed early this season, so we have no salt bags. But do you think it will reduce my 5 ton of 1 ton bags for next year free down to 5 ton less? How many salt bags? In the past, we have let the school have some, we let the village hall have some, and we've dotted around when it's really bad in the village dot for anybody for walkways or pathways or whatever. Do you want me to order some 25k bags to do that, or do you want me to organise for the salt for the spreader to get the parish out and the welfare or whatever?
I think the two things there, George. One is salting the roads, and we must have enough salt to salt the roads. Again, something Devon County Council used to do before the government cut their settlement. And that's important. I think we should, and they're not expensive, to buy a dozen bags of salt.
What? I'd spend money on it and keep my ton bags for the machine.
Yes. Yeah. Because we need to keep on. Because one of the problems we had when we got rid of the salt in the old factory, we put it down in various places and people nicked it.
They did. I know.
Yeah.
Now the other problem about if you want a few salt bags, I don't know. They're going to be. There's no point in storing them out to officially limited. They can like it. B, where are they going to be stored to?
Well, I expect we could talk to the village hall and put it behind their tin can. It's not there outside if they're in plastic bags, isn't it? After, doesn't it?
I don't know.
You think
Plastic bags deteriorate.
They do.
Out in the sun.
somebody will nick that with it?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they'll nick that.
So we got plenty of time because they're not going to take any orders for salt now until by May, probably next September. But
Right.
I will find a way. I'd like to know if we're going to have some. We might just have a ton of them, because then they'll do a good job around the village and people can have a bar or whatever. But they've got to be stored somewhere.
The problem
You've got rusting and destroying concrete. What they're all in the end, like
They've got to be ordered now. They've got to be
No,
ordered
no,
now.
No.
So we could leave it until.
Getting over, I'm going to get to the end of April.
Well, we had some nicked and previously.
Sorry?
Let the new council do it.
And when we did it previously, I said, if you want any salt, turn up on a Saturday morning, and people would turn up and said, we want 3 bags, 4 bags. I say, hang on. Yeah, very community minded. Some people, I have to say, very community minded.
So that's just it's like some minor detail that I'd like to know.
So my other bit,
Yeah, go on.
we're still live streaming. We kind of agreed that we'd carry on. How long do you want me to keep them on the webs on the YouTube channel?
Month?
Because I can remove them. What do we think?
What was that?
Keep the well, it's a recording actually. You can actually go to YouTube. So tomorrow night you can go and watch the parish council again. I've never seen it. Never bothered to look.
I think a month is quite. A month, They've got all the minutes. The minutes can be consulted.
Okay. So I'll take them off a month after if I remember.
Yeah. I've got a note from
Or a couple of months.
Forgive me, folks.
I think a month's long enough myself.
Because I can do it. I can go in and take them off.
Shall I put this on the agenda for the next meeting, and then perhaps people can have a think about what suits? Yeah. Okay.
Right. I've got nothing to raise. But Richard left me a note. Richard, if you're watching in Cornwall. Yes. Couple of points. There's concern among some of the allotment tenants that the water leak has still not been repaired, and we've dealt with that. Right. The pile of rubble in the car park, that's sculpings. That's when they take the tarmac off the road when they're replacing it. There's a pile there. We used to, Chris Layston used to use it to filling the holes in Northwood Lane. I've checked with him, he doesn't use it anymore. And Richard's asked if they could tidy it up by spreading the sculpings over the car park. I have no problems with that. I don't know if anybody else has, really. Get rid of them.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. All right?
Want to clear up the rubbish first before it gets started in the
Yeah.
edge trimmings and conditioners.
Well, I think,
everything.
following a playing field committee meeting this week, we would like to make a feature out of the beacon. So they need to talk to Andrew about that, because I think Andrew actually physically owns the beacon, doesn't he? Because he made it.
I reckon he made
Yes,
it.
he made it.
No, the parish council owns it.
Oh,
It's on. Yeah, well, could parish council pay for all the materials?
Oh, right, okay.
So I have spoken to him. It's on our asset register.
All right.
So if you want me to make arrangements to...
Yeah, if you would, because he wants to make a feature of it. All right. And then he news on the speed sign batteries, which we've already discussed. I would also like to report that the hedges around the playing field were cut this week, and the grass has also had its first cut and looking very good. Have a good meeting. I will be watching. Right.
Good job you can't see that lot.
We cannot move the camera.
Joe, do you want to deal with those assessment dates now? Do you want to do under part 2?
Yeah, well, you can do, yeah. When would you like to
Well,
meet?
we did have, remind me the original date that we had.
We had Thursday. We did have the 23rd of March, which was our
Yeah.
But Thursday's a problem for Wendy at the moment.
Right.
So we just need to avoid Thursdays really. She can.
What about the day before Wednesday? We'll have them, obviously we'll have them 2 different times.
What time was that going to be? Or what day?
Wednesday the 22nd, those on the personnel subcommittee.
Yeah, so it's you, Barbara,
David,
Watson.
Yeah.
George, that's 4 of us. All right.
So does that suit everybody?
Does that suit everybody?
So what month was it?
March.
March.
Yeah.
27th.
22nd.
22nd.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. No, right.
Okay.
I think there's a history.
I need to check with Wendy.
Okay. All right.
I'll have a look, yeah.
All right. Well, we can sort something out.
Yeah.
Right. Go on, Phil. You've got the floor.
Same as last time, Chair. Nothing's really happened apart from just a bit on the planning. Talk about Alison Homes, and we had a...
Yes, Winkley, yes. They're behaving like cowboys down there as well, aren't they?
I hope you watched it on YouTube last Thursday. A lot of disquiet because of the situation, but it got passed by the planning committee, of which I was a member, and it was very similar to the site of Meadow outside the boundary issue we had here at Buckland Brewer, and we're still running scared basically of the 5-year land supply,
Yeah.
which is really something that we're hoping to hear about that. The other thing is...
Mr. Pickles, eh? He's the man who invented it, Mr. Pickles.
He's still with us, you know.
Lord Pickles.
But the other thing to go with it is there was planning reform white paper. Question and therapy was quite interested in 58 questions. We had to get it in by the 2nd of March, which we did as a council. They're thinking about looking at past records of developers when they develop sites. And I thought it was so applicable to what you're doing here at Buckland Brewer at the moment if you wanted to work it. But it does set another paper chase for everybody. And I have to say, Alison Holmes has got quite a good record around the area. It's quite interesting to talk to one or 2 developers. When work developments are taking place, Alison Holmes has got a fairly good record actually. When we talked about it as a council, 1 or 2 other developers' names came up far more than Alison Holmes now, in the situation. So it's just on the record. But there is a proposal with the planning reform that we have a new criteria. We look at the past record of a developer. So we wait and see if that ever comes to fruition.
The Housing and Economic Land Availability Assessment Panel.
Healers.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's young slaz. I mean, everything goes right in circles, basically, Chair. It's looking for future land for the future. But we're in a strange cycle at the moment, because if you remember 30 years ago, in 1992, we came with a double Myers, which was a double mortgage indemnity scheme, and the house market went very quiet until 2008 or 9 years, and maybe homes on targets on single variable mortgage rates, which means that people probably borrow money at 2.5 or 3%. We're probably looking at 6.5 or 7% if the mortgage rates go through. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what effect that will have on the housing market.
Well, Pierce's are not going to develop their second half. They've stopped. I mean, I think they've decided that it's very difficult. So it's a shame, really, that we've got two developers in the village. This plan went to 2031, and they're punching, they're beating each other up, really, which is very sad. And we only want the factory site to come on the stream, which you understand has been sold now to a developer. And that'll be fun as well, won't it? Yeah.
Buckland is the largest village. I've got 12 parishes in my patch.
Yeah.
Buckland is the largest village and has a lot more infrastructure. You've got the school, the pub, you've got the community shop, you've got church and chapel. It's the background of the village, which other villages, I think, well, I certainly would envy what Buckland does and what Buckland's got and worked hard for. So congratulations to Buckland for that. And you've got a sustainable future. And it seems always that if you've got a school, then you've got a younger village. It's strange. You go through Abbotsham and you go through Monkley, and when you're in the villages, they feel younger when they have that. And you need more houses to keep those things going.
The sad thing about this, the second half of the Pierce's development, and one of the reasons they've not got AS 106s and affordable houses on the site was there was an agreement they would build 2-bedroom houses, a load of them, because one of the successes of Hill Park was the 2-bedroom houses didn't even make the estate agents. They were more or less sold straight away. And of course, it's the ideal ladder if you're going to buy a house, is to buy a house like that. And that's the raison d'etre of the whole of the Lower Abbots. But like all developers, they'll build their bigger houses first and their smaller houses last.
Well, I think that the interesting thing about the Monkley development last week was the social housing and the social rented section were pepper potted in across the whole of the development, and they guaranteed 30%. That was good to hear, and to get that 30%.
Well, we've got 17 out of this joint development, which is not bad. But there we go.
A lot of it has been 8, 9, 10% on the lower scales, and but there was a really good offer of 30% last week. So yeah, but they were peppered in with all the other developments around that area.
Yeah,
so I'll look up this one that you talked
but
about.
the housing market is slow. I mean, the 3, 4, 5-bedroom houses behind us are just empty. There's no movement on them at all.
Yeah. So maybe the big ones won't sell so much.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll decide to build.
Somebody stayed a month and saw the wind and decided to leave again.
Well, this is quite interesting because driving out tonight, there's a lot of not a lot. There's 4 for sale signs that I haven't seen quite for 4 years since pre-COVID, basically. And there's a for sale sign went up. Usually, it was taken down within 2 days or 3 days.
One of the things that the parish council did in 2000, a long time ago, I must admit, was that we sat down and we decided that we didn't want Buckland Brewer to become an old people's home. I mean, basically. I mean, it's blowings like me, and we're all getting ancient, and we didn't want it to be a retirement community. And one of the things we wanted to do was make sure the actual school survived, because you're right.
Yeah.
If you have got a school, you're going to attract younger people.
Right, yeah.
And it's a popular school.
There, yeah.
And now it's got its act together with 3 schools and a stonking great good headmaster.
It goes back to developments like the Buckland Maritime Innovation Centre that we talked about last time, Chair. That could bring in younger families, skilled families that will also change the dynamic of the area, because what we have is a professional class of youngsters who go to university, and I think it's only about 1 in 4 come back to work within the area.
Well, none of them come back in Buckland.
Well, some do.
I can't see my daughter coming back.
Well, they come back when they get old.
Oh, great. Oh, she can come back and look after me.
Come back.
I get old, be great.
Or they think there may be something that'll come down off the table for them. Whatever goes with it. But interesting, yeah, because you go up country, we were in London last week, and the whole younger feel of the population. Exeter is the same because they've got universities there. same trick, you know. And strange enough, I just had a sister retired who was an accountant in London and sold her house in Sunbury, is now living in Lincolnshire. And she sold a house and has now pocketed a whole lot of money because it's no personal taxation on your personal house.
What's the Torridge view about the developments in county where they're making overtures to Plymouth and Torbay to join with them and go back into the county?
Well, what do you mean, sorry, I missed that. What do you mean, sir?
Well, the,
You know, Devon County Council.
Yeah.
10 years ago, Exeter was trying to become a unitary authority.
Yes.
And then the Conservative government came in and they stopped it. And we've seen Somerset do away with their district councils. We've seen Cornwall do away with their district councils. And in between is Devon. And we've still got district councils. But the county council is making overtures to Plymouth and to Torbay, which are unitary authorities, to actually come back into Devon.
right. Plymouth is survivable because there's 250,000 people live in Plymouth. And it's big enough to be a unitary authority. And a lot of theories, but the optimum size for unitary authority is 300,000, so Cornwall's too big. And they're cutting the number of councillors down in Cornwall. I think it was 123 when they first went unitary. And I think the talks to try to bring that number down. Torbay's been too small, and they're only about 120,000 people. When you think about the Tall Torridge estuary all the way around from Ashford, taking in Barnstable and Yelland and Fremington and out to Amersham, I think there's a bigger area there than there is in Torbay. And I think there's a bit of discussion on the line, on the horizon, that Devon has got 8 districts. We've got 8 chief execs, all on 100 grand a year or more. And if we could slim that down and it'll give you guys at town and parish more power to do away with the districts.
More jobs.
No, less jobs.
Less jobs.
And you haven't got this difficulties with the 106 that goes to education and roads and all the other bits and pieces, and the planning would then presumably be done by the unitary authority. But
So sorry.
that's okay. It's not me ringing you anyway. I mean, but there's a real argument. I mean, because Somerset's gone, they've been driven by economic drivers.
And they're bigger local authorities than what we've got here, the districts.
That's right, yeah, I mean, we're one of the small, West Devon is actually smaller than Torridge. North Devon is 96,000, I think we were only 68,000 a year in Torridge. And I still, to my day, do not understand why, when I sit at Riverbank House and I live across the river, I'm looking at North Devon. You know, the minute you hit Wesley, you're in North Devon District Council. And we have so much in common because we need the link road, we need the railway station, we need the economic drive around the area, and we should be stronger together
Yeah.
than we are apart. And I quite see that you're going to have 3 corridors, which is the A38. So you do the South Hams down to Plymouth. I think you're going to take Exeter through to Oakhampton, possibly East Devon to go with that. But that will be a really wealthy area because there's more millionaires in Newton Poppleford as you go out to Lyme Regis and other parts of the world. But I also think the North Devon Link Road, you know, you've got Mid Devon through to North Devon through to us. I think that would be a natural sort of unitary status as well. So it's the corridors, connectivity to the major central populations that make it viable. And the thing that affects us more than anything else is not what we do down here, but the hours it takes now to get past Stonehenge or the Bridgewater M5 because the motorways are always blocked.
Yeah.
So,
Bristol. Oh, yeah. Bay303 can be a nightmare.
so that's where I think it will go with unitary. So a lot of talks going on at the moment, but I think there is a lot of sense because you take away the district, which is my level, and you have then the unitary, and then you have the town and parish. And I think you haven't got this in 3 layers of something that doesn't seem to interact too well together sometimes.
I think what will end up is some of the parishes submerged because you've got a prosperous parish like ours and you've got Putford next door, which is very small and doesn't do very much at all.
Yes,
Okay.
Well, when you think Bulkworthy and Haytown out there, I think if I...
They haven't got a parish council.
I haven't found 4 people yet out there when I got to look.
Okay. Thanks, Phil. Thank you very much indeed. Okay. Right. I think we've done members' reports. Thanks, Phil. Right. Planning. East Hill, Buckland Brewer, Bideford, Devon, road roof over existing livestock yard. It's part of our DNA. No problems with that.
Yeah,
Anybody got any
fine.
problems with that?
No.
Right. Barn at Great Gorwood, Buckland Brewer, prior notification of change of use of agriculture building to one number dwelling house and associated buildings operation under Class Q Barn A. This was the legislation that the government brought in about years ago now, isn't it? Yeah. When your brother built his, Trevor? When he
No,
converted
no,
to barn?
it was before then.
Was it?
Yeah.
He was the first in the
He
parish to
was
do it,
one
wasn't
of,
he?
he might have been,
Yeah.
in the parish.
Yeah. Okay.
I would like to say, before we start talking about the 3 planning permissions for this particular site, they haven't applied for planning permission to alter their drive.
Right.
They widened the end and took this post box away, and it's all left ready to concrete, I should think. We're supposed to do that sort of soil disturbance, we're supposed to have planning permissions.
Well, as I understand it, it's a unclassified road,
Yeah.
and you need planning permission to put tarmac or concrete on. You don't need planning permission to scrape off.
Right.
You can put stone down without planning permission, but you've got to get planning permission if you're going to put tarmac or concrete on. That's where planning permission comes in.
Yeah.
And if it's I may be wrong, if it's an unclassified road, you can do without planning permission, widen your entrance or whatever. You can't take a post box away without planning permission, I know that. But so that's how I understand it, which I'm quite open to.
You know, they've actually pulled the edge back,
Yeah.
made the lane wider.
So what do you want to do about it then?
Well,
You can talk about
I'm
it.
asking the council what they think.
Well, if you think we should raise a question with the district council in terms of that planning application, we should.
Because I guess that's linked into these, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, all 3 of them, isn't it? Yeah.
Although I thought it said that the entrance would be where the main entrance is anyway. I thought I read something when I was looking at it.
I've personally not seen
It's a
anything wrong
bit
with it.
difficult, isn't it? Because it's a double-laned entrance. Which one do you call the main one?
Well, the one at the t'other
You
end,
think the
isn't
one
it?
out on the other
Yeah.
one?
So what do you want to do about it then?
Well, I mean, I didn't have any,
You got no problems?
I've got no problem.
not really, no.
Barbara?
No, there's no point. It's completed now. But
Well, we know your comments then, Trevor. I mean, don't go.
So you agreed with the...
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That's all 3. Street naming reference. Proposal requested from PC for new street name adjacent to Cross Park. What do they call it now?
Pottscliff,
Yes. That's not going to be its name. That's its marketing name. Did you hear anything so ridiculous?
What's it called?
Well, it's going to be called Cross Park. That's what we told
Yeah, I
them.
know, but...
Because that's the name of the field.
Yeah,
We told them, but it's now called Foxglove.
Yeah, but that's just marketing.
But they're all doing that, aren't they?
Yes, yeah. People are going to think they're going to buy a house in the park. Foxglove, whatever it's called, they're going to end up in Cross Park. Right. The other field adjacent to it is called Lower Greenings.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah.
Because you used to get into it through past
Through
that.
Greenlands Road.
Yeah, through Greenwich Road, yeah.
well, when we met Alison Holmes, we did point out that we like our planning to be named after the field
That's right.
that it's being built in. So we should carry that through to that.
I think Lower Greenings sounds quite good, really.
Is that going to be too close to the Greenings then?
No, well, there's Greenings along with you, isn't it? Is your house something Greenings?
Well, no, we're not technically, we're just interviewed, but we get called forward.
Yeah.
So we need the lower green.
We need the lower bit.
Lower,
Yeah.
Lower Greenings.
They'll be dropping stuff off to me. Or you.
Agreement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That was easy. Right. next thing is a planning decisions. Well, we can just note those really.
So have they made a decision then?
No, there's, I've not checked, I must confess, since the 3rd of March, but those ones were still outstanding as at the 3rd of March. So there are a couple that were granted and a couple outstanding. I'm not sure what the hold-up is because they've been in quite a while. The only thing I would say is that East Hill one, the application that you've just discussed, they might have been holding that one because there's other application going in and doing them together, which would make sense. But I don't know why the change in time one is taking a long time.
Okay. Well, I think they found a lot of damp in it because it used to be one of the pubs, isn't it? Is that no change in time?
I think so.
Yeah.
So they say.
Buckland's many pubs. Right. Okay, coronation mugs. Decision by party PC funding. How much have they got in the fund at the moment?
400 and just over 400, yeah.
£406.
Yeah. So the question is really, we're going to order the mugs and do it through the parish council again.
Yeah.
But last year for the Jubilee, all the sales proceeds went into the Jubilee fund. So the question is, are you happy for that to happen again, or to top up the coffers for whatever the next event is, or does the parish council want the sale proceeds to come back to the parish council? The approximate cost, because we don't know how many we're ordering at the moment, but is going to be around about 250 minimum, I would say, for the parish council, between 250 and 300. If you don't get the proceeds back.
Is Mr. Hicks guaranteed his 250?
Yeah. And that will cover, or just about cover, the school's freebies to all the parish children.
Right, okay.
You do have to remember that there are several primary school age children who do not attend Buckland School.
It's quite big.
And
Yes,
we always included them.
Yeah.
And the toddlers group.
And the toddlers.
And the toddlers as well.
Right, so I would say work on at least 300 then.
I mean, we always gave a grant to the event. I don't mind doing it again. But I think what we need is the committee to meet and tell us what they want, what they're going to do really.
Yeah, but we need to order these mugs.
Oh, I don't mind
So
ordering mugs.
I'll get the mugs on order anyway.
Yeah.
But as I say, that decision is outstanding, what you want to do with the proceeds.
I mean, as far as the money is concerned that the committee have got, which is, came all from the parish council, did we raise them somewhere else?
What we've got there now is the proceeds from the sale of the mugs, and I think about £60 that we had left over from the Jubilee team.
Yeah. I mean, what I would say...
Go on in order the mugs.
Yeah.
And then the team need to come back to when you've decided what you're going to do, whether we're going to have street parties or pub fights or anything else.
Well, that's what the meeting on the 24th is.
Yeah.
I mean, it may be that if the proceeds go into that pot, then maybe a grant won't be needed.
No.
So, it might just even itself out.
But we churlish of us not to offer that in the first place, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I think Alison has already told you, if you tell her, she will write the cheque out and it's got to be signed by 3 of us. Yeah. And we'll just sign it.
But don't want anybody out of pocket. And, whatever you do, whatever we do, I don't think we're going to have any sort of celebrations for a long time yet.
No. But we'll order the mugs from the parish council because we can reclaim the VAT.
Yeah.
So if we do it that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll get $2 extra drinking time.
Yeah, Solly will be pleased, won't he?
I don't use up my quota now.
Each day.
I'm sure somebody else will be happy.
847 accounts.
February yet. So the balance, sorry? Bank statement?
What's that?
No, the Barclays bank statement.
Barclays bank statement.
Yeah. So the balances are still as at the 31st of January on there, so I've not got anything more recent. Underneath, the fund balances are our accounts. So we've got £59,468.97. General account is the parish council and the savings account, and then Thornhill Head, obviously separately. Not a lot going out either. Payroll as usual, British Gas, electricity as usual, an invoice from Matt Fry up till December, and the room hire for this hall. And that's it, no receipts in for February. That's it.
You mentioned signatories on the cheques. I mean, the existing parish council stays in situ until the new parish councillors are actually sworn in.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no problem about saying, if we have an election, that is, about people signing cheques.
No, I mean, hopefully we'll know the situation on the 5th of April, and then we can take action then. Sorry?
We know at 4 o'clock on the 4th.
Yeah, but we'll know whether it's going to be contested or not, and then we know what we've got to do, basically. I've got forms already. If we need to add some additional people on quickly, I've got the forms all ready to go.
Right.
But we may as well try and do it in one go in April if we possibly can.
Yeah, okay.
Isn't it May?
Maybe election.
Yes, May.
If it's not contested, I mean, we can get everybody put on the account with effect from.
Oh, can you get them? Because they won't be parish councillors until they're sworn in.
No, but you can do it. You can actually say with effect from this is our mandate change.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Right, you done? You all done?
Yeah.
Bit of a record, that, isn't it?
It's a record.
Right. Thank you very much for coming and surviving the wintry weather.